Hello everyone, what is going on? Bomber here, and today I wanted to do finally a video on my classes and setups for my level 40 characters. It was a little bit weird since the new light level system came out, and I didn't really know how to handle these videos. You guys know I've done level 32 videos, level 34 videos, all that kind of stuff. But I didn't really know how to handle it after the light level system came around because, level 40 was pretty easy to get to, and it was really the light level that was the focus. But now that all my characters are pretty comfortably around the 300, 310 range, I feel like I can give you guys a little bit of an opening to my classes and setups. So we're going to start out with the subclass, the new subclass, because the old subclasses are pretty much the same. This is my PvE setup right here pretty much all the time. Vortex Grenade, Better Control, and Triple Jump are kind of, they're pretty much, you can switch them out if you want to. They're really, doesn't really matter that much in PvE. Black Hole is really good. If you have another Nightstalker on your team that's running Black Hole, run Bloodbound. But Black Hole is pretty much what you're going to want to go with in every situation. Vanish and Smoke, really useful for going invisible. These don't really matter too much. The armor and the recovery and all that stuff really doesn't matter all that much in PvE either. So I mean, you can spec it how you feel you succeed best with, but I don't feel that they make that much of a difference. I would recommend recovery in PvE, I suppose, as opposed to anything else. Light of the Pack, though, is very essential if you're running in a team, playing strikes or raids. It generates so many orbs of light and just feeds your team's supers so fast. So Light of the Pack is definitely going to be the way to go. In this column, it doesn't really matter at all for PvE content. It's not going to make any difference. For PvP, I usually use Void Wall Grenade. I kind of always used Void Wall Grenade. A lot of people use Vortex. I choose to use Void Wall. They're both really solid. Spike Grenade is kind of underrated, but at the same time, you're really going to want to go with one of those two. I pretty much always use Better Control in PvP and Black Hole as well. I switched to Envenomed. It's really solid. Poison Smoke Bombs are actually really good. And this is pretty much my main setup. I run Lockdown, Longer Grenade and Smoke Effects, and I run Shade Step if I don't have my Shade Step helmet on, which is the, what is it called? The Graviton Forfeit. If I don't have it on, I run Shade Step. If I do have it on, I run Keen Scout, which is really, having both of these, Shade Step and Keen Scout, is really crazy good. This is one of my main loadouts that I like to use. Really, the primary is kind of interchangeable for a lot of things, but Monte Carlo is really solid on a Nightstalker Hunter, just getting you those smoke bombs so much faster. What you're going to want to be running stats-wise is Discipline Strength. A lot of people originally thought Intellect Strength was the way to go on Nightstalker, but as the game progressed in the Taken King, people found out Discipline Strength is a lot more useful, especially in PvP, and you get your super just by killing things anyway. So really enhancing your neutral game, which is your grenades and your smoke bombs, is going to be what you want to go with. Unfortunately, I don't have that. I have really a high Intellect Strength build, unfortunately. I just haven't been getting very lucky with my armor. But that's alright. Intellect Strength or Discipline Strength. First and foremost, you want to go max strength is pretty much what I'm getting at. Otherwise, you can do whatever you want to do, because the Nightstalker super is widely seen in the higher level PvP community as the worst super in PvP. So you definitely you don't want to be relying on your super that much. It's useful for canceling out a Sunsinger or Sunbreaker every once in a while, but other than that, the Nightstalker super is definitely not worth speccing into. Sealed Off Mkara's Grasp, I pretty much never take these off. An additional melee charge on a Nightstalker, like I said, 2 smoke bombs, whether in PvE or PvP, 2 poisons in PvP, 2 invises in PvE. It's really solid for staying alive or getting kills. And I have 2 of them here, one with shotgun reload speed, one with sniper, although the sniper one kind of throws off my stats a little bit, but it doesn't matter too much. If I'm not running that, I'm running these arms, and I am running probably Graviton Forfeit, which gives me Shade Step, and I can actually those are pretty balanced stats, so yeah, that's pretty much how I run it. So I'm gonna have to cut that out, starting off where I left off there. 5-minute recordings on Xbox is a little bit of a pet peeve, but yeah, I'm running usually these arms, and that's a really good setup. If I really am going shotgun heavy, sometimes I will run Bones of AO, so I can just have that increased control jump go really freaking high, and obviously then I'll be running Shade Step. With a shotgun, that is just really effective. You can just jump and Shade Step around, and increased control is just the best jump that you can ask for. It just makes you go so high, and with a shotgun you can come from above, you can Shade Step around and get your shotgun kills. Increased control also makes you go really fast, if you didn't know that, for hunters, so that's why I spec more into armor than agility. I spec pretty much more armor and recovery than anything else on all my classes, because agility really doesn't matter that much if you know how to use the class's jump ability to its fullest effect. So yeah, that is pretty much what I run on Nightstalker. Blade Dancer hasn't changed besides skip grenades. They have come out to be the best Blade Dancer grenade in PvP. If you're running Blade Dancer in PvE, then you're lost, because Nightstalker is literally better in every way. Blink or better control, it depends on what you want to use. Usually Blink is the chosen jump, but better control is there as well. Like I said, obviously a very good jump. Razor's Edge, Backstab, because it's broken, and Quick Draw and Hungering Blade has not changed. This is more of an agility class, but you can spec into armor if you like. As you can see, I've pretty much spec'd as much into armor as I possibly could without sacrificing my recovery, so that's just how I'm going to keep it. And Golden Gun, my grenade of choice is Trip Mine. Sometimes I'll run Incendiaries. Incendiaries are pretty good now, especially since they buffed them earlier in the last patch. Better control jump as well is here, but triple jump, those are once again interchangeable pretty much. It really depends on how you like to run the class. A Nightstalker, like I said, is just God for PvE, so if you're running Gunslinger or Blade Dancer, it's a PvP kind of thing. I personally run Combustion, but they did actually stealth nerf Combustion. So I'm going to tell you guys right now that I've heard that Deadeye has actually become pretty good. Like, it's actually, kind of like expands the hitbox on your Golden Gun, so you can hit people that you might not normally have hit, or that you weren't necessarily aiming at completely accurately. Gunfighter, you don't really notice that much of a difference, but like I said, Combustion got nerfed pretty hard. It's not that good anymore. Your throwing knives doesn't really matter. Incendiary Blade is pretty good if you want to get one-hit headshot throwing knives on low armor targets. But I mean, realistically, your throwing knives aren't what you're going to be focusing on. Like I said, once again, use your jump ability to make up for your agility loss, and spec as much into armor and recovery as you can. All of these are pretty good. Keyholes, it's meh. Gunslinger's Chance is probably going to be the one you want to go to, though. Scavenger, you don't really notice that much of a difference, in my opinion. It sounds good when you read it, but it's not actually that much that huge of a thing. So Gunslinger's Trance is pretty fun, to play around with. Having that stability boost after a headshot kill. Especially in PvE, but like I said, you should be using Nightstalker in PvE. And for the final column, Over the Horizon doesn't really matter as much anymore in PvP, because the maps are so small. But if you want to go for it for that little bit extra recovery boost, that's fine. Chain of Woe is pretty good in PvE. Like I said, you should be using Nightstalker, though. And if you really want to go for like throwing knife montages, obviously you're going to go for 2 throwing knives. So that would be your main setup. And for anything but Blade Dancer, I am usually running this sniper. It's got a VTech, it's got Quick Draw, pretty good, it's decent perks, and the VTech is pretty good. Any other, Blade Dancer obviously has Quick Draw built in, so I'm using a different sniper that's not on this character. So that's going to be my Hunter, guys. And I will probably do my Titan Warlock in separate videos, or I might link them onto this video, who knows. But that's going to be my Hunter, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.